Hello!
Hiya!
Welcome to our numero uno, that's number one to you, MLBC Kids Online. So it's great to have you with us today, and we're going to have so much fun this session. We're going to think, we're going to listen, we're going to worship, we're going to do a craft, we're going to do challenges, we're going to have fun, we're going to learn about Jesus.
Yeah, we are.
Are you ready?
Come on.
Get ready. And we're going to dive straight into the worship.
So do your stretching. Because we're going to sing Dance, Dance, Everybody Dance, and we want to know that you are dancing at home.
Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance now. Shout, shout, everybody shout. Shout, shout, everybody shout. Shout, shout, everybody shout. Shout, shout, everybody shout now. Your grace is overwhelming. Your joy is in my heart. Your goodness lasts forevermore. Now everybody sing. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance now. Your love is all consuming. Your song is in my heart. You changed this life forevermore. Now everybody sing. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance now. Shout, shout, everybody shout. Shout, shout, everybody shout. Shout, shout, everybody shout. Shout, shout, everybody shout now. Everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance. Dance, dance, everybody dance now. Everybody dance.
Are you out of breath? I'm out of breath after all that dancing. We're going to hear from God's word now, so we're going to head on over, watch a video clip, and then we're going to come back together.
The Miracle of Mercy. Paul. This is Saul. Saul was a Pharisee who hated the followers of Jesus so much that he would hunt them down to be brought to trial in Jerusalem. And he would even seek to murder them. Saul was uttering threats with every breath, and he was eager to kill the Lord's followers. So he went to the high priest. He asked him to write a letter to the Jews in Damascus that would allow him to arrest any Christians he found there. He wanted to bring them, both men and women, back to Jerusalem in chains. Now Saul went on his way, and as he came near Damascus, a light from heaven flashed around him, and he heard a voice that said, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" Saul cried out, "Who are you, Lord?" And the voice said, "I am Jesus. Rise and go into the city, and you will be told what to do." So Saul got up and he opened his eyes, but he couldn't see anything. So the men who were with Saul led him into the city. After 3 days, a man named Ananias came to Saul. He put his hands on Saul, and immediately Saul could see again. And with that, Saul became a follower of Jesus. He became the very thing he had tried to hunt. And he immediately began telling people that Jesus is the Son of God. And he taught them about the mercy of God that he had received. And all who heard him were amazed. He then went by a new name, Paul, as he began preaching not just to the Jewish people, but to everyone. Despite many difficulties like being imprisoned, shipwrecked, and narrowly escaping death multiple times, Paul continued to preach about Jesus. Paul said that he would do everything he could to save people and help them know God. And that's just what he did in order to reach people who would otherwise be unreached. And many came to know Jesus because of what Paul said. Paul taught many in his day through his letters, but even more have come to learn more about Jesus through the letters of Paul that can be read even to this day.
Wow, what an amazing story of being obedient to God. Now, Philip didn't argue or try to bargain with God. Nope, he did not hesitate. When he received a message from God to go to a desert road, even though the message probably didn't make much sense at the time, he was not aware that he'd be meeting a very important official of the Queen of Ethiopia. But Philip trusted the Lord, and he was obedient to his instructions. He was able to share the good news of Jesus and help the Ethiopian official to understand the scriptures. This helped the official to believe in Jesus, and he was baptized that very same day. I wonder how many people this man told about Jesus and how many lives were saved and changed as a result of this. And all because of Philip's obedience to God. Now, this is not just a Bible story. This is an important example of how we can listen to God today and how we can be obedient to his instructions. Now, following the right instructions is so important. Have you seen Bake Off? You know the bit where they have a lot of ingredients all laid out on the table, but they're given hardly any or no instructions at all? And we all know what the outcome is. It's often a big, sloppy, yucky mess. But God has given us instructions on how to live our lives. And we have these in our Bibles. And when we regularly read the Bible, we begin to understand and recognize God's voice. So knowing Jesus makes a huge difference in our lives. Don't you think it would be amazing to share that good news with our family and friends? I do. And in God's eyes, we are all equal. It doesn't matter how young or old you are, how short or tall you are. You can speak to God and you can ask him to guide you by his Spirit, to give you opportunities to help you to share the good news of Jesus. Do you need to hear that good news of Jesus today?
So we have heard some happy news of the Ethiopian being baptised, and today we're going to sing a happy song. We're going to sing together, Happy Day. Got your dancing shoes?
I have. I love this one.
Let's get to it.
eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. And oh, happy day, you washed my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. Forever I am changed. When I stand in that place, free at last, meeting face to face, I am yours, Jesus, you are mine. Endless joy, perfect peace, earthly pain finally will cease. Celebrate, Jesus is alive. He's alive. And oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. Forever I am changed. And oh, what a glorious day, what a glorious way that you have saved me. And oh, what a glorious day, what a glorious name. Yeah. And oh, what a glorious day, what a glorious way that you have saved me. And oh, what a glorious day, what a glorious name. Yeah. And oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never. Oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. Forever I am changed. I'll never be the same. Forever I am changed. I'll never be the same.
So, in today's story, we heard about baptism. Georgia's going to share with us a little bit about what her baptism was like.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Georgia.
And Georgia. Have you been baptised?
Yes, I have.
Can you tell us how you got ready to be baptised?
So I was baptised when I was 11 years old. And I went through baptism preparation sessions, which are a little bit like a conversation between you and another member of the church, talking about your faith, Jesus and the Bible. And there was food involved, which I remember a lot. It was actually quite a lot of fun to get ready for my baptism. I got to talk about why I wanted to do it, and why I believe in Jesus, and why I felt it was the right decision for me to make.
All sounds good. And what happened when you were baptised? Talk us through that. Were you in the river?
No, so we had a baptism pool in our church, and I was baptised with a few other people as well. We all got to go up to the front, speak our testimonies, talk about why we wanted to do this, why we believed in Jesus, why we felt it was the right decision for us to make. Got to talk about our journey for our faith, and I even quoted Iron Man in mine. It was quite an emotional experience. We got to go into the pool, and there'd be our ministers there, and they'd talk us through and ask us a few questions. Then you get dunked, only for a few seconds. It's like you blink and you're underwater 1 second and up the next. And that was it.
And how did you feel afterwards?
I felt a sense of relief wash over me. I felt really light and I felt really happy, like it was my birthday and Christmas all at the same time.
Sounds awesome. Would you recommend it to others?
Yes, definitely. I think if you're ready for it, do it.
So we're going to head over to Jane now, who's going to share with us a craft. Don't forget, in your pack that you've been sent, there's lots of activities for you to do this week. But let's head on over to Jane.
Morning, welcome to Kids Online. Craft just for kids this time, exciting. And today I'm going to show you how to make this special book. It's a special book because it's got no words in it. So it opens up with a ribbon and then it tells the story just by using pictures. Brilliant idea. So you don't need to be able to read, you don't even need to know English. So that's what, and this accompanies the story today of Philip and the Ethiopian and how he explained the Bible to him. So let's get started. You're going to need 2 sheets of white paper, 1 sheet of coloured paper. You're going to need some cardboard, or you can use a bit of old cereal box. A piece of ribbon, about 30 centimetres long. A glue stick, some felt tips and some sellotape and some scissors. Okay, so start with your A4. We're going to fold them long ways. Okay, so we'll do that to both pieces. Okay, so slimmer ones now. And then we're just going to cut down the middle of each one. Okay, here we go. You could use this book for all kinds of things, couldn't you? You could keep all your secrets in there, or things, perhaps lists of things you want to do, or things you're hoping to buy one day. Okay, so now we've got 4 long strips, and we're going to do the same thing to each of them. So we're going to fold them in the middle like that. And then we're just going to fold it back on itself towards you. So you can see that. So it's come back at me. And I'm going to do this, then we're going to turn it over and do the same again. Okay. Then you should have a W. Okay, so we need 4 W's. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it again in half. And then fold it halfway back towards you again. And then turn it over and back towards you. Cool. Okay, another W. Same again, we're going to give it this now. Okay, so in half, and then halfway back towards you. Turn it over. Back towards you again. W. And the last one, fold it in half. And then halfway back towards you. Turn it over, back towards you again. It's quite easy, isn't it? So you should end up with 4 W's. And then we're going to use our Pritt stick and we're going to join them together. So it's quite good if you sort of look how it's going to look when that's it. It's fine. So let's join it all together like that. Okay, so let's use lots of glue. Have you got a Pritt stick ready? Or glue stick? Okay. How cool to have church just for young people. Brilliant, isn't it? Okay, so we're just going to join these together. Lovely. Okay, so that's the first 2 joined together. It's quite good to sort of see how it flows, just that you're sticking it in the right place. Sometimes you can end up with an odd piece, so just sort of check before you stick it down. There we go, so I'm going to do that one. three joined together. It's a bit like an accordion. Does anyone know what an accordion is? Those... It's like a musical instrument. Lovely. It's getting bigger, it's growing. And then just the last piece. So again, just check it sort of follows the pattern. There we go. So this is a brilliant way, really, of telling somebody about the Bible story without using any words. I don't even have to be able to read. So there we go. Lovely. Now, I think what we should do next is actually draw what's going to go on inside. And I'm going to do it quite simply so I don't take up too much time. If I follow the one that I've done already. So if you can see, it begins with the beginning when God made the world and nature. So we're just drawing a leaf to represent that. Or you could draw a tree. I'm going to do a leaf. So you need 12 segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I think you can always, I think you can miss out the first one. A lovely leaf. We do it simply and then you can always colour it in afterwards. Okay, and then what's after that? So he made the world then. So there's a lovely picture there of the land and the sea and the sun. There's waves crashing. Oh, got the sun smile. Nice smiley sun. And then what did he do after that in our story? He made us. So he made boys and girls and men and women. So if you want to do the next two pages with people on. Okay, so I'm going to draw. So I'll draw me to start with. Can just be a stick man or lady if drawing's not your thing. Again, if you want to just do an outline, you could do all this in pencil if you like, if you want to come back later to make it nicer. So there's me. And now I'm going to draw a man. Got lots of curly hair. My man's wearing a shirt and tie. I think he's just come home from work. There we go. So what comes after that? So God made us. He made human beings, but we didn't live. We didn't live how he wanted us to live. So that's represented on the next page by a big cross. Ooh, let's do a cross. It's an easy one to do, isn't it? And because we didn't live the way God wanted us to live, that made God really sad. So we're going to draw God's face here. Very sad, tears. Okay, what comes after that? So because God loved us so much, he sent his son, Jesus. So if you want to do something to represent God's love, we've got a heart here. And then he sent Jesus as a baby, because he's all swaddled up. That's what they used to do to babies years ago. It's quite hard to draw a baby, isn't it? There we go, there's my Jesus, all swaddled up. Then what happened after that? So Jesus showed us the right way to live through God's love. So we've got a lovely tick here showing us that we're doing the right thing. and we can live how God wanted us to live. So a nice big tick. Oops. So the tick means that Jesus taught us the right way to live. So no more hurting each other, trying not to live with each other the best that we can. And what came next? Well, Jesus actually died for us. So that's what the cross represents. And Jesus was put on the cross and died for us. So I'm going to draw a cross. When he died for us, he took on all our sins. So even if we fall short all the time and we still keep making mistakes, through the blood of Christ and for Jesus dying for us, we know that we've got everlasting life. So that's what the cross reminds us of. Okay, there's my cross. It's a bit wobbly. And through the cross, through Jesus, he gave us a fresh start. So here we've got a clean heart. Everything's been wiped clean. So that's what the heart represents. Gave us a fresh start in him. So I'm just going to do a nice clean heart here. You might think of something else to represent that, but you could draw a bar of soap, something like that, just to sort of, so you remember that's what it means. So that's that. And then through Jesus Christ and through his death and resurrection, we have the promise of heaven and life everlasting. So that's represented by the crown. So we're going to draw that right at the end. So I'm hoping that without words we can still remember the story. But we're now going to make it into a book. So fold it all back down again. You can come back later and colour it in if you want to. So it should look like that now. So now we're just going to make the cover of the book. So you need some cardboard, or I've got a cereal box here. And it needs to be 8 centimetres by 11 centimetres or thereabout. It's just a little bit bigger than the ends of the book. So I'm going to measure it. Actually, that doesn't sound right. Let me just measure that quickly first. 8 by 11. Yeah, that is right, sorry. 8 by 11, okay. So obviously you need 2 for the front cover and the back cover. Okay, so 11 centimetres long. It's got a cool book, isn't it? Brilliant. Right, so I'm going to cut that out. So you should just end up with 2 card rectangles. 8 by 11 centimetres. So 8 centimetres wide. 11 centimetres long. So this is quite a posh book. So we're going to cover the front and the back cover, a bit like real books are. We're not buy a hardback book. But you could really just do this on some hard coloured card. That would be easier and quicker. Okay, so I've got 2 little panels now of card. And then we're going to put them, I've chosen blue, so I'm going to mount them onto here and basically we're going to cover them. So I'm going to use my Pritt stick. Let's move this out of the way. So I'm just sticking on the back, with lots of glue on the back of my porridge cardboard. The real books are covered in material and proper book binding's done. You have a hardback book. Okay, so just put it on here so you've got a bit of an edge around it. Okay, then just cut round so they're separate. sure you put lots of glue on. There we go, so it should look like that. And now we're just going to cut the corners off. And do that to all 8 corners. And then we're just going to fold them in. So we need a bit of glue on each of the edges. Okay. And then just fold them neatly in. Like that. So I wonder if you've got up early today to tune in to the first service. It's great to have your own time without the adults. Okay, so it should look like that. Then I'm going to do the other one. Okay, it's got the glue on, then I'll fold in the edges. Cool, so I should end up with 2 like this. Obviously they're covered on the other side, so they've got nice covers. Okay, then we're going to take our book. So if you've got ribbon, it's quite nice to have a bit of ribbon so that you can seal it up afterwards. Where's my ribbon? Oh, I've got this bit of ribbon. So it should be about 30 centimetres in length, which is the same as a ruler. So I'm going to make this one a bit smaller. And then I'm just going to take one of the panels and then use some sellotape. Just stick it like that. Okay, so we'll just need that on one of them. And then I'm going to join my book to its covers. So perhaps just try it out first, see how it works. So you can see in my crown page, I will go onto there. So I'm going to put lots of glue on here. Obviously sort of within the central panel. Just centre it and push it down really hard. Okay, so that's got the, go. And then we're going to do the beginning of the book. I've actually got a little spare page there, so I'm going to put glue on that. But your spare page might be the other end, but that's fine. So yes, just stick that, centre it again. That one's got the ribbon on it. A big squeeze. I mean, you could put this, perhaps when it's made, you could put it under a few books overnight, just so it really sticks well. And that's it really. So I can see I've been a bit messy, so I'm just going to trim that little edge. Obviously didn't get it quite lined up when I did it, but that's fine. Okay, so does my book work? Let's have a look. So you can use your ribbon just to wrap it round, hold it all together. There we go. So you could give it to a friend like that, couldn't you? And then you open it up. And from the beginning, it's that way round. There we go. So God made the world. God made nature and the world. He made the land. He made boys and girls, men and women, but they didn't live how they were meant to live, did they? No. And God was really sad. But because of God's love, he sent his son, Jesus, as a baby. And Jesus showed us, showed us how to live the right way. And he died for us on the cross. And because of that, we were given new life. Everything was wiped clean and we got a fresh start. then we've got the promise of life eternal forever. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm just going to put my book away for now. Love to see your books. If anyone wants to send pictures in, put them on Facebook. That's it for today. Your wordless book. Thanks for joining me. Bye.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it. Next week, I want you to share some good news with family or friends. Now you can do that by calling them, sending a text, sending a card, or a letter. I need proof that this challenge has been completed. You have 7 days